Hello, beautiful people. Hey, look, before I start this session, I have a big announcement to make. And, the documentary that's been in the works for a long time about my son Eric's life, it's almost finished. But in order to get to that finish line, the director producer Paula Marino needs some help. So she needs funds to cover all the professional fees that will be involved to bring the story to the screen, like a professional story editor, a music composer, a sound mixer, an illustrator, animator, etc., etc. Now, Paula created a crowdfunding page where you can donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You can also donate by purchasing a 30-minute session with one of our mediums, or by purchasing an item from the Erik merchandise store, like the one I'm wearing. Saving the world one prank at a time. It's an embroidered image, so it's really nice. So anyway, go visit channelingericdoc.com and take a look at it. This project is very near and dear to my heart. And one of my greatest wishes is to get the story out to more people so we can help more people. And I want you to go and see the trailer that's on the channelingericdoc.com. It's so moving. It's so powerful. It was my first reaction. It was a gut punch. Um, but it says it all. So look at the trailer and let me know what you think. Thank you, guys. Back again, beautiful people, with part 4 of our series about chronic disease and overall health, basically. And we have, of course, Ginger Bailey here, who is a nutrition and exercise expert. And she has a sale going on through the new year, I think.
No, through Christmas, but then after
Christmas.
New Year's, I'll probably have something else going on. But yeah,
So that
through
she
Christmas,
can
the Red
counsel
Tag
you.
Zone.
And she
Hmm.
showed me a picture in the last deal of this woman who just lost a tremendous amount of weight and feels so good. So you check her out in the description box below. But of course, Paula would also put it on the screen. I still love you, Erik. Just to
I
let you
still love
know.
you too, Mom.
Oh, wow, great.
He was doing this. He was going, I still love you too, Mom.
What actually causes, Erik, chronic fatigue and slash Epstein-Barr, and what can we do to overcome it? Is the Epstein-Barr virus related to chronic fatigue? I mean, they thought that was a iffy before.
Autoimmune, right? Isn't that autoimmune?
Epstein-Barr
Um,
is the monovirus, but maybe
no,
it
he's
does
talking
cause.
about the chronic fatigue. Yeah,
Okay.
and it can, okay. He's saying, yeah, this can cause some autoimmune. Are they related? They are related. They are, well, one causes the other. So the Epstein-Barr will cause the chronic fatigue. Okay. Now, chronic fatigue can be from other things too. A lot of things cause that. You can
Yeah.
have a fatty liver, you can have liver disease.
Yeah.
Liver is very powerful with the hormones and how you feel on a daily basis, he's saying. And if it's not something like MS or that autoimmune fibromyalgia, things
Yeah.
like that, then you want to look at your organs,
Yeah.
especially the liver, enzymes and stuff. But it is related, if that's the question. He's saying yes.
Well,
Yeah.
viruses are notorious for triggering an autoimmune process.
Yeah.
Some people think that a slow virus is what's behind juvenile diabetes 1. All right, so
Yeah.
how do we eliminate the chronic inflammation that causes autoimmune disease?
Okay, so he's talking about, he wants to talk about inflammation, about how now some inflammation is important and
Yeah.
necessary, but the difference is the inflammation we need that's good is temporary, on a
Yeah.
temporary base, like a fever, okay, or a swelled ankle if you sprain it, those are temporary. And then the long-term inflammation is usually caused by, disease or virus or
And
a
diet.
long-term virus,
If,
yeah, and diet,
yeah.
absolutely. Um, so how to handle that or bring it down is to change whatever's causing it. First of all, you have to find the source of
Yeah.
where it's coming from, he says. So, but if it's because of diet, then you have to look at certain foods. Some people have reactions to certain foods, or a combination, he's saying like there's a combination sometimes of foods. Maybe something by itself is okay for you, but if you combine it with something else, it's not.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So
So you can,
what kind of foods do promote harmful inflammation? By the way, when I do my scalar work, I always tackle harmful inflammation and reverse it, stop it, reverse it, heal it. Not all inflammation. All right, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. Something he's talking about is, yeah, the unneeded, right? The unneeded inflammation, he says. So, so something he's talking about is, let's see, he's showing me different stuff, but you know, it just depends again on individual people, but there are foods that really cause it for the bigger amount of people
Oh
is
yeah.
the processed foods
Yeah.
that actually put it not just chemicals to modify it, but there's chemicals in food to make you want more and have a hard
Mm.
time putting that fork down, so you'll keep eating it so they can sell more. They do this, it's a combination of different sugars, hidden sugars of things that they put in foods. These things will cause inflammation, and it's worse for some than it is others, depending on their
Awful.
system. But it's mostly the processed foods. Now, there are some maybe vegetables or some dairy products that might affect people, but again,
Yeah.
that's an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the whole part, processed foods, in
Sugars, all that
a
stuff.
daily, yeah, and a daily basis too. He
Right.
says, make sure to say a daily basis because it's okay to have a cookie or a piece of cake once in a while. You don't have to stop
No,
having fun with, celebrations and stuff.
of course
But
not.
yeah, it's a daily basis. So
So, do you think RFK Jr. will tackle this processed food thing and
I
the
think
diet
he's
of the
going to
world?
make a little dent on it. I think he is going to make somewhat of a dent, Eric says. Like we were talking about, I don't know
Yeah,
which one it was, the other one, but he really is serious about it. He's not just saying it. This really is something that he wants to make a difference
it's
about.
really dear and
Yeah.
close to his heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do parasites have anything to do with the cause of inflammation and disease?
Parasites,
Yeah,
they asked? Okay.
yeah,
Well, yes, that does cause inflammation and it can cause disease depending on the parasite.
yeah,
Absolutely. But not the parasites we need. Okay. There are parasites we need. There's good microbiome. The bacteria in your, stomach is a parasite. We have E. coli as long as that doesn't get overgrown. We have yeast on us as long as that
yeah.
doesn't get overgrown. There's many parasites we do need.
The
Um,
parasites they're
but
talking about, I think, are like amoeba, antamoeba histolytica, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
tropical like thing.
Oh yeah, definitely those cause
Oh yeah.
inflammatory problems. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's usually how they figure it out, the way it inflames you,
Mm.
and inflame on just one organ. There must be something going on with a parasite,
Yeah.
So
All right. Why, since COVID, and I don't know if this is true, has there been an explosion of dementia and Alzheimer's? Apparently, this person says there's a massive rise in Ireland. Is that really true? Or is it just people are going through ascension and some people are ready to leave
yeah.
the planet?
Yeah, right. These are really good. I love this question. So
They're great.
I learned so much from some of these like things that we do,
I
with
know.
Eric. He's taught me a lot. Okay, so something he says yes, there is a connection. Okay.
Okay.
Not with all cases, but there is a connection.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, talk so fast. So what he's saying is when somebody has COVID, it messes with the oxygen levels in the brain. Now with Alzheimer's, dementia, the brain
Oh,
shrinks.
yeah.
So when you get this and it messes with your oxygen levels and say you're already prone to get it.
Mm.
So if people carry, like I carry the genetics for that. Okay. I've had a lot of my family on my dad's side that have this. So I carry the genetics for it. So those who are prone for it, or also it's a spiritual contract too,
Yeah.
But then they're more likely to get it after COVID because of he keeps showing me the oxygen levels being cut
Okay.
off from the brain. And the brain, that's what causes it, is a shrinkage of the brain and lack of circulation.
Oh boy.
So, yeah.
All right, next, would we all benefit from the blood type diet? Like I'm O, I gotta have me some beef.
You're funny. Um, he says this is a no, to where it doesn't really make a difference on, like, if I'm O2, I'm O negative. So, one person being one blood type eating, okay, you have to eat this food, and one this blood type, you eat that food. He says no. What's important is having balance. Whenever you think about diet, it's about balance and moderation. Okay. And making sure that you're eating what your body needs and no more than that, you know?
Now,
So,
in your case, with your family history, is that why you got one of the reasons why you became interested in becoming an expert on diet and exercise, nutrition?
um, some of it, but not the main reason. I was just always fascinated by my science classes and science and how the body works. And I always wanted to find a way to, like, help people or make things better, and including myself, right? And I've just always been intrigued in the information that, that there is about the body and what it takes. And I always want to try to find something, because it's all about the brain not wanting change. And, even me doing this, I have a hard time getting in there and doing my workouts and
And the
making
brain
sure.
gut connection is huge.
Right, right. So, that's a little bit of it, but a lot of it is just like my interest in science and medical and the body, the anatomy. And it's just something I enjoy.
And you're good at it.
So, yeah.
All right,
Well,
can
thank you.
chronic pancreatitis be healed? And if so, how?
Yeah, inflammation of the pancreas can be healed if you're yeah, this is about diet again, he's saying. So, changing what you put in your body that causes it to be inflamed,
Yeah.
taking that away. Um, just like a headache. A headache is inflammation too. Eric's talking about using this for an example. A headache's and is inflammation too. But it's if people get headaches, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the diagnosis. Even though I know people get migraines, and
Yeah.
there's things under that too. It's that is a symptom. Headaches are usually symptoms, he's saying.
Right.
So you want to find what's causing that, the
Whether
actual
it's been
cause for it.
physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
Right. To combat it is the word he's used. Combat
Okay.
it.
Okay. Can the damage caused by eating GMO foods and pesticides be reversed in the body if you've been eating it for over 50 years?
He goes, that depends. It depends on the damage it's done. If you had to have part of your colon removed, I mean, you
Yeah.
can't reverse that. If you have scar tissue and things like that that are caused from different things that have happened to you because of that reason, you can't take that away, right?
No.
So it depends on what your damage is, he says. Okay. If it's something that's not a permanent damage, then yes, like inflammation or obesity, or even the thyroid is affected by
Yeah.
a lot of preservatives and GMO, different, not all GMO foods, he's saying, but some, depending on how they do it, how they modified it. But those things are reversible. You just change what caused it, as long as it's not permanent.
Yeah. What about using something like far UVC that is very sterilizing, kills COVID and all that to sterilize, I mean, to get rid of the pests and bacteria and all that on food. It's
Light, is this like a
Roundup.
light? Is this like a light
That's
thing?
light.
Like light, yeah. He says this does work. It would be, for the amount of food that they have to cover, though, it would be very expensive.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned before, and I checked it out to see exactly what it is. It's basil and lemon spray, when I was talking
Yeah,
about
that
the
is.
ants and killing the ants. I mean, it comes down to money. It really does come down to money, and what's easiest to spread completely
Well,
over
it seems
everything.
like basil and lemon would whatever would be
Right.
easier to spray it from a
Right.
plane, whatever. I mean, it's less expensive than pesticides, probably.
Right. If it kills
I don't
those type
know.
of bugs. Yeah, if it kills those type of bugs. Now there's
Yeah.
some bugs that, will lay eggs and those eggs grow within the food, right? He's saying so they're trying, that's one of the reasons he's bringing this up about the modified food. Okay,
Yeah.
genetically modified. This is one of the things they're trying to stop and combat is
Well, that's
yeah,
protein.
making this work. Yeah, right, right. But some of it, again, if it's not something we're supposed to have, it can cause problems on the digestive tract.
Yeah.
Adding some bugs you're not supposed to have can sometimes wipe out the bugs you are supposed to have, is how he
Yeah,
puts
that's
it.
true.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Is veganism the only way to truly avoid disease?
No, no, no,
Okay.
it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Nope.
What is the number one thing to
Balance.
avoid such disease? Any kind of disease is balance, avoid processed food,
Wait, what was the
diet.
number one thing? What was the
Oh,
question? I was saying balance to the other one.
oh, I
When they
thought
said
so.
veganism, always get the balance. Yeah.
What is the number one thing to do to avoid such diseases like chronic disease?
Take care of your body. You can't always stop everything because, hey, that's a good point. He's talking about getting the cold or a flu. Those aren't chronic diseases, but he's using it as an example that sometimes they make our system stronger. So,
Yeah.
and if it's not something to make your system stronger, like building the immune system, then it's something to make your soul stronger. So, there are reasons for it. But if you want to try to avoid it the best you can, take care of your immune system. That's the biggest part is your
How
immune
do you do
system.
that? What's the best way to do that?
It really starts with digestion,
Yeah.
with what you eat, with what you put in your body. Because if you try to imagine every single thing, and this probably seems like obvious, but when you put something in your body, that's what's going to go out to your body cells. So you are what you eat, right? So whatever you put in your stomach, it's going right out to your
Garbage in,
body
garbage
cells.
out.
Yeah, goes out
Well,
to your
yeah,
body.
and the gut is the largest immune organ in the body. It's huge.
Yeah, yeah.
What, okay, is stevia a healthy substitute for sugar, Eric?
It is. It's derived from the same source that they make sugar from.
Okay.
So that's, it's going to be the same. So people, he's perhaps listening when he's saying he's bringing up like people might think sometimes sugar, since it comes from a natural source, is better for you than
Yeah.
chemical source, right? But again, like we said earlier, sugar is still not completely natural unless you go out and get your sugar beet and make it yourself in a way,
Yeah.
right? So it's all stripped of, nutrients. So
Mhm.
anytime something's stripped of nutrients, then it's not really that great for you. But stevia, if you're going to have to choose one, that's a good choice, I would
Okay.
say.
Well,
Yeah.
what is the best source of sugar? Sugar cane, beets, I don't know what else there is. Raw sugar,
Anything that
freaking
comes, anything.
raw
Yeah, raw's okay, but remember what it does to the
fructose.
body. Remember what it does to the body. So sweeteners, as in something that comes from fruit, fructose.
Fructose.
Yeah, yeah, those kind of sugars are good for you, but they still will affect you. I mean, if you sit and eat a whole bunch of grapes or something,
Yeah.
and you don't have a protein with it to slow down that glycemic
Right.
index, then it's going to shoot your, insulin levels up.
Mhm.
But and blood sugar levels up. But he's saying that if you want to sweeten something, the closest to natural as possible is the best.
Okay.
Okay.
How can we combat what they are doing to the food we grow? Does this come from the pharmaceutical companies because they want us to be sick, or big corporate, or both? Are they just greedy or something else? Well, we know they're greedy. Not all.
Yeah, there is greed,
Oh,
but not everybody. There
oh,
are people that really do want to make a difference. Now pharmaceuticals are also part of the plant world,
yeah.
farming world. So let me see what I'm seeing what he's saying here about this. There's not really this is coming from Erik. He's saying it's not really like, okay, we're going to make you all sick, so you have to take our medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. He says where that comes in is let's put a label on this so you have to take my medicine. So if you want to look at something like that, look at where they label a lot of disease, like create a disease out of something that maybe isn't so much a disease, it's a symptom. So they can
Yeah.
give you medicine for it. He says
Wow.
that right there is about, pushing the medication and getting money. But not so much the food, but there is a lot of lack, he's saying, on trying to make sure that you're looking out for everybody's health all the way because there's so much money in the mass production of things.
That's true.
Mm.
Are farmers going to quit using pesticides like Roundup when harvesting food? Yeah, Roundup, and that gets out of runoff water and can affect all of us. It can get in the ground,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, they are trying to get stronger. And I think this is what Kennedy's doing. They're trying to get stronger. Um, what do you call it? Trying to think of it, what it's called. Stronger
Guidelines,
restrictions
okay,
and
good.
guidelines, yeah, to keep them from not using certain chemicals or the way that they use them or the amount that they use them, he says.
I think that's one of the biggest roles of the government to protect us from
Right, right.
poison, etc.
Right. But when somebody wants that dollar, this is Eric saying this, when somebody wants that dollar, they're going to find a way to get what they want sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you have these other people that are fighting against it. So it's a constant battle.
Yeah.
He's showing for
Give
this.
people,
But they are working towards that,
yeah.
getting less chemicals in our food and our air, you know.
Yeah.
So
Can you explain how do you know if you're sick because of a certain food or if it's maybe just stuck emotions causing the illness? That's a
oh yeah, love that question.
mm,
So if it's a certain food, um, I mean it's a very subtle, when it be the line between these two is very, thin. Um, but when it's a food, you're going to notice more of the physical changes in the body and on the body.
yeah.
And when it's emotions, it's going to be more about how things are happening in your life, is how he,
Oh, yeah. If you're stressed
yeah,
and you had
yeah,
loss, trauma.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Or, like maybe you don't get along with anybody, or people make you mad all the time, He's just naming off a few, like if things just don't seem to go right on an emotional level or connection around you, that's the way to tell the difference. The physical is the something with food.
the
Yeah.
Elohim is part of the divine team that I use to help release trapped emotions from people's energy, but I ask them to do it at a rate they're able to tolerate. Otherwise, get emotional roller coaster. So you can also call
Yeah.
upon the Elohim to help you release your
Yeah.
trapped
You
emotion, but let them
can.
know to
You
do
can.
so, or your own healing team, etc.
Absolutely, you can. Eric helps me raise my vibration. I thought I was having anxiety attacks when I first started doing this kind of work. And then he
Oh,
was like, no, no,
wow.
no, just raise your vibration. And that's what you had just said about releasing them too fast.
Yeah.
The body can't adjust. We need time to adjust.
Yeah.
And when my vibration goes up before a session, especially with his hyper energy,
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
because he vibrates high, but just his personality type,
Yeah.
the human body can't contain that for very long, and so it feels like anxiety.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
I wonder how much anxiety is really that, but that's another session. Do we
yeah.
subconsciously feel drawn to eat certain foods, even though they're bad for us, because we have a soul contract to get sick from that food?
What was the beginning of it? What was the beginning of it?
Do we
That
like
do
subconsciously feel drawn to certain foods, even though we know they're bad for us, because because we have a soul contract to get sick from that food?
Yes, yes, that's a good question. Good
Yeah.
question. This is something that happens not just with food, but anything that you are supposed to experience or go through, you will have things put on your path. So you do have that experience. Okay. You want to, if you come here to learn how to get along better with people or learn how to communicate, you're going to have a lot of people on your path that
Yeah.
causes problems, so you can learn it. But yes, this is something that we have a subconscious connection to. Also, there's things in our subconscious that come from other lives, Eric says, that will get
Yeah.
us to be drawn to certain things, certain foods,
Yeah.
for whatever reason it is. I mean, yeah, it is. There is a subconscious connection.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see if we can get a couple more. But y'all, before, I don't know if I already told you this in this part four, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, please.
Do you think there's going to be a part 5?
Well, we're
Are we
gonna
going to?
get through 59 and we have 84, so could be even
Oh
part
gosh.
6. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe that'll be
wow.
shorter, to divide it up equally because I don't want to do 30 minutes and then all of a sudden we got only 10 minutes for the last part. But
Right.
okay, what does
Okay.
God or whoever, spirit, think of all of the bad chemicals these companies are putting in our foods and allegedly creating illnesses in our bodies? What is spirit?
God.
God, or just spirit in general?
Okay. God and spirit are, think of them as impartial. Like they see your benefit from going through things. So it's not that they don't care, like they're looking at it going, oh well, you got to go through that,
That makes sense.
but yeah, but they see the reason behind it. There's a spiritual
Yeah.
reason behind everything, and they see a spiritual reason behind these things.
And
Unfortunately, they
spiritual
can't.
growth.
Right, for spiritual growth. And they see that. And they also see what you planned before you came in, you know, of what you're going through. So they can't intervene. They can't come in
Yeah.
and go, okay, I'm going to fix this for you,
No.
because that wouldn't be fair. That'd be like doing your child's homework or something,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh.
So,
All right, the 59, number 59, the last one. Can we just send, this is great, energy into our food to counteract the poisons? Like send a prayer into the food or water before we ingest it. Send golden light. Thank it for the positive exchange of thick paper, of molecules and any harmful ones to pass through the body without doing harm.
I love these questions. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, with water, food, all of it. Yes, you can. Absolutely. He's saying mind over matter, with the
Biology.
body too.
Yeah,
Yeah, with the body too. You can do this with your body. You can heal your body, but yes, you can do that. You
yeah.
can.
All right, I love that.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's
so
great.
before you get in my body, chocolate fudge cake. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. That's great. Thank you, Ginger. I love you. Thank you, Eric. I
I
love you.
love you
Thank you,
too.
beautiful peeps out there, for your awesome questions. All right. Sayonara.
Bye. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.